Hey everybody, happy Sunday. Brandon Harris here. Just wanted to share some quick tips with you if you're interested in getting your real estate license while you're still holding a full-time job. It's not as hard as you think. The online options are out there, and if it's something you're interested in, stay tuned. I'm going to prepare a quick slideshow presentation to let you guys know how to do it. So let's get started. Keep this short and sweet. So getting licensed in Ohio. It's not as hard as you think. So the first thing you have to do is decide which institution you want to attend. Of course, you got UC and Xavier and Ohio State, all the other ones. You can do that if you don't have major university budget. There are other options that are a little more real estate specific that you can do, and I've got those listed as well. Specifically, the big two, I think, are Sinclair and Hondros. Sinclair has a very low overhead for education cost, which is something I find beneficial. You will have to buy your books, and you will have to obviously pay for the classes, but they've got a lot of programs to work with people. And the fact that they offer online classes is really good. I don't know about Hondros. I know Hondros has the same programs as Sinclair does, the same real estate focused stuff, even more so with Hondros. And I think the resources with Hondros are a lot better. When I attended some of my preparatory things for the state exam, a lot of the people that I was testing with went to Hondros. So that's an option too. I think Hondros costs a little more, but I think that the education is probably a little more robust. I know with Sinclair, all of the tests are like open book tests, especially online. You can go to the classes, or you can do them online. And when you do them online, all the tests, exams are generally open book. But my experience with Sinclair was pretty good. They have a really good process for getting the test accomplished, a schedule, really flexible. So yeah, to be honest, if you could, you should probably go to Hondros. If it's something you're already enrolled in, or if you've you just want a more hands-on education, you probably couldn't go wrong with Hondros. Sinclair is good too. I did not go to any physical Sinclair classes, so I can't speak on the quality of the instruction, but those are options. And since the title of this video is having a full-time job, I'm assuming that you're busy and you probably want to take online classes. So if you want something that won't break the bank, I suggest Sinclair. If you want a more robust experience, a little more streamlined, and a lot more real estate focused, particularly for your continuing education after the fact, you might want to go with Hondros. Now, you have to know the requirements for licensure so you know exactly how many classes you need to take. You don't have to take a full gamut, and you don't need an associate's degree or a bachelor's before you can test for your license. The state of Ohio requires 9 credit hours. I'm pretty sure that you do have to take the 9 credit hours and the classes that are required. I know for a fact when I dealt with Sinclair that they told me that the bare minimum that I had to complete were these 4 that you see here on the screen: general real estate, law, appraisal, and finance. As you can see, I've got the credit hour breakdowns on there, and they add up to 9. I know for a fact that those classes are required prior to testing, and I'm pretty sure it's those classes and 9 credit hours. If anybody knows better than me and I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments. I don't want to give people the wrong information, but I'm pretty sure that you need 9 credit hours, and those are the specific requirements that you have to meet. You have to have a general real estate class, a general law class, real estate appraisal, and finance. Finance is going to be key too. Please pay attention when you do finance in general too, because they discuss a lot of the math involved with the process, so it's worth your time to really pay attention during those bits. Now, one thing that people don't really know, and I think it varies state to state, is you have to choose your brokerage prior to being able to test. That is strange to me, because essentially what you're having to do is you're getting educated, you're taking your classes, and then you have to go to a firm, and generally without any work experience or even a license yet, apply to the brokerage to work there. Now, it's not like a normal job application. It's not an interview per se, but it is. They want to make sure you're a good fit. They want to show you their programs. But unlike a normal job interview, you're pretty much hired when you walk in, because a lot of brokerages want agents. They need an influx of agents to keep the company going. And depending on the radically different movement rates of agents, they're always looking to invest in new agents. So you're essentially just getting to know the brokerage, and they're showing you what they have to offer you so that you can make an educated decision. So don't freak out. It's not like you're applying to a job. It feels like it, but it's not. So don't freak out about that. Now, you have to have a brokerage's blessing, essentially, endorsement, prior to being able to send in your application to take the test. The application is $60. You have to pay the $60 to be able to send in your application for the exam. Then once you've got that all squared away, the exam is going to, PSI I think is what it's called, they're going to message you via email, and you're going to have to pay an additional $65 as the sitting fee. So it's roughly around $120 to apply to take the test and to take the test. So keep that in mind. After you've paid for your classes and stuff, it goes a little bit further than that. I'll probably cover the breakdown on costs and stuff in a different video, but that's where we are now. So remember, prior to being able to exam, you have to choose a brokerage. So the entire time you're taking your classes and stuff like that, be looking around. Where do you see signs? Who have you heard good things about? Do the research to find out which brokerage you want to work with. They have different splits. You might want to take a lower split for something that offers you more education, mentorship, so on and so forth, or you might want to take a higher split for a more hands-off, smaller firm approach. It's up to you. That's a different subject. I don't have a lot of experience in it. When I get some, I'll let you know. Now, like I said, after you've sent off your money, you've gone to your brokerage, you've sent off the thing with their endorsement, you're going to get an email where you have to pay an additional $60-some to test. And yeah, so after you do that, you'll get an email back from PSI telling you that you are able to take your state exam and what date works for you. You'll need 2 forms of ID, and that's pretty much it, as I recall. And there's 2 portions to the test, and you get like 3 hours to complete the whole thing. It's a whole thing. There'll be a separate video on that, but that's pretty much it. Now, a little history on me, and I probably should have opened with it, is I'm 12 years active duty Air Force. I've got 3 kids, my wife works. We were pretty busy, but with some diligence and attention and time, and you have to create a timeline, you're able to make it work for you. You don't have to take all the classes up front, although you could. I stretched mine out over 2 semesters just to make sure that I wasn't overwhelmed and didn't get discouraged. So I suggest the same thing for you. Make sure you pick something that works with your lifestyle where you are. Don't try to overwhelm yourself. The real work is going to begin after you test, so you don't have to make it hard on yourself, because the real uphill climb is when you're out there looking for these commissions. That's when the grind really has to start happening. So make it work for where you are now, so that way you don't get discouraged. Some of the classes are harder than others. I struggle with math personally, but through study and diligence, I found a way to make that work for me. Law was pretty interesting for me. General is really interesting. And you're going to learn a lot about real estate investment and how the whole market works. So it's exciting. So if it's something you're looking to do, be excited, be energetic, take it with a grain of salt. Choose what works for you. If you want a more robust in-class experience, get that. If you want something you can take on the weekends, once a week, knock out 2 classes, do that. But just make sure you're comfortable with where you are and pick something that works for your schedule. Again, I'm Brandon Harris. Good luck to you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comments below or send me a message. And if you want more stuff, I'm a new agent kind of going on my journey. I'm going to document the whole thing. So if you want to kind of follow and see what it looks like to be a new agent, feel free to subscribe. I appreciate your time and good luck.